Hello, hello. Look at this hair. I can't get this one hair to stop sticking out. But welcome to Sage Muse. In just a few minutes, I'm going to be doing some full moon messages. Full moon in Leo. So, I know I said 2 o'clock, but it's later than 2 o'clock. The world was made a better place with lip gloss. So, and it's just something strange I do before every reading is I put lip gloss on. I don't know if I think that activates my energy or what. So, oh boy, someone came on and left like that. Okay. So, what we're going to do today is full moon messages, and if anyone shows up, we will chat after um, and check in on the energy of the room, which is, a smaller thing. I'm going to start doing live every Wednesday. I said 2 o'clock, but, it, I don't have this whole thing with time. My name is Heidi, and I'm an intuitive reader. And so, yeah, if you're looking for personal readings, please check out the link in the description. Oh my gosh, look at this stray hair. It won't stop. It's just okay. So I know no one's here, but I'm going to get started with the reading, and anyone who misses anything, you can just replay the video later as it will be posted. Okay, so let's get through this. Let's get to this. There's something happening in the subconscious which very much feels, it may not come up right now. You may not actually even see this until Pisces season, because we're seeing some very watery energy here. And I feel like it's all happening because someone asked for your forgiveness, or you're being called to forgive someone, which has this kind of duality to it, because I feel like I just kept hearing 2 messages, and that was basically you're being called to forgive someone, but you're also being called to forgive yourself. And so I don't feel like you want to forgive this person, or you haven't wanted to, because you definitely are being affected by Saturn energy too, which is interesting since we're out of Capricorn season, but you really are feeling it. And, we'll go over how you're going to be affected during the full moon, what you might be feeling. It's good, and it's leading to a very good place in terms of manifestation. Definitely this energy of cutting yourself a break. You know, I really feel that. But what's going on underneath it all is I feel like it could be someone coming in asking for forgiveness, or this could be coming from you. It's very confusing because I'm feeling it sits in you. And when, you're being called to forgive regardless, maybe you're waiting for an apology from someone, but it's kind of like this energy, you can't hold it anymore. You can't hold it anymore. We're seeing full moon in Pisces, forgive. So it could be this doesn't happen till Pisces season, particularly the full moon in Pisces, which the full moon in Pisces isn't a real great feeling energy. But all of Pisces season is about unpacking the soul. And it's kind of when we go over everything that's happened the whole year, because Pisces is the last. The last, because to be real, our new year doesn't start until Aries season. That is the new cycle for the lunar year. And I always feel like it's the time when things do actually get moving. I don't feel like we're seeing movement. We don't, like, I think we expect that when January comes, new year, new me. But no, I think we're still closing up. So, you know, it's with first quarter moon in Scorpio. So it is really coming up for you, the need to forgive. Now, whether this is coming because someone is asking you to forgive, and that really highlights the fact that you've held on to some stuff, there's like an emotional blockage here you need to get rid of. So however it comes for you, it comes. And it's coming up through Pluto. First quarter moon in Scorpio, right? So, I mean, you could actually look at, you could look at the new moon in Scorpio and some themes that were going on then. Because with the first quarter moon, we're actually putting the work on our intentions. Maybe your intention was to open your heart, but there's still a little bit. And it may really be sitting in something you haven't forgiven yourself for. And that can always play out with other people. So if there's someone who did you wrong and you haven't forgiven them for doing you wrong, you also are kind of carrying it on yourself. Okay, because with all of that, we also, we need to forgive what we allowed, right? Maybe you're forgiving yourself for holding on to it for so long. And Saturn said, Sag, it's time to let it go. It's time to let it go, and have a new direction here. Now, the Page of Wands could be an apology, for sure. But this could be you, because the Page of Wands is Sagittarius. There's a sense of just letting something go. Letting it go. If you've been waiting for an apology and it's not coming, it's not coming. Forgiveness is never for the other person. Can I just say that? It's never for them. And I feel really strongly that you might be forgiving yourself. Okay? And this is going to bring in new things, definitely, with the Page of Wands. Because the Page of Wands is a lot more than what people think. It's feeling excited about where you're going. And we can't do that if we're still tethered to something that creates a blockage. And so I am feeling like, and Scorpio energy is pretty icky because it can be very dark. Same with Pisces. I mean, in terms of emotions, this is very emotional. Thank you. I had all my hair cut off. By the way, I had 4 inches of hair cut off. We'll go over that in a second, though. Y'all know I'm obsessed with my hair. So you will be doing that, and it is fitting in because there's definitely a Saturn theme here. Definitely a Saturn theme. In terms of your emotions, full moon in Capricorn. Now, we don't usually associate Capricorn with feelings, right? But I feel like this was about you learning a long lesson about when to give up. I felt it. I feel it for myself. There may be this too much focus, and really about how much you put into things, right? There was something you wanted to grow. You really wanted it to grow. It could be this situation you're being called up to be released. But with the Page of Pentacles, you focused a lot on it. You put a lot into it. And it may be even that energy of, I'm not giving up on this because I invested so much into it. And that's not a good reason. Okay, we have to know when to step off. And I feel like that you're having a reality check. Why am I still focused on this? And being how it's in the Page of Pentacles, it had a good start, but it just kind of never went anywhere. And you know, you're being called to let go of some of this focus that you've had on it. And, just because we put energy into something, just because we put energy into people or time or whatever, it does not mean that we can't let it go. If it's not working, we got to go. And that is Sagittarius energy, by the way. That is something we do. That's something I've done my whole life. If it's not working, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. But there's been a sense of trying to really not be that, trying to not leave at the first sign of trouble. But what's happened is staying with things too long. Okay. And Saturn said, we are going to whoop your ass. You are going to let this go. You are going to let this go because sometimes things just don't grow. What you're being called to release is to leave this behind. You're maybe overly focused on things that have not worked out, trying to figure out why they didn't work out. You did all the right things. Why didn't it work out? And Saturn is saying, just stop it. It just didn't work out. There isn't always a reason. It's time to leave that behind. It's time to give it up. Five of Swords. Give it up. Because you're causing your own resistance. Okay? And it's the resistance towards new things. It's the resistance towards new things. And I know sometimes, like last night, I just did a reading felt like it was a twin flame reading, which is coming back around. So I know it can be so confusing sometimes. But the collective is big. Where this is leading you, Sagittarius, look, I just seen 111 on the screen. And the time was just 12:12. Oh my gosh. Totally headed into a new cycle. When you let this go, when you throw in the towel, and not in defeat, but realize that holding on to something that isn't working just because you put a lot of energy into it, it's kind of like causing your own resistance. And let's just not do that. New moon in Leo, shine. With the Three of Cups, it's like you're headed towards celebration and fun. Leo rules the fifth house. The fifth house is about passion. It's about fun. It's about, it can be about social events. This is leading you to go out there, meet new people, start letting yourself be seen. You're going to get out of this Scorpio energy of hiding yourself, right? Stop hiding yourself. Stop staying away. Let new people come in. And so you are going to be getting out there, having some fun. Queen of Wands. Anything that's supposed to work out will work out. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, 9 of Cups. If it's supposed to work out, it will. Okay? But in the meantime, you're supposed to make yourself happy. Do what you enjoy doing. I'm not saying all Sagittarians enjoy going out. A lot of them do. It is a highly extroverted energy. I don't, but you're supposed to get out there, get outside, get out into the world, and start doing things that bring you joy. Okay, it's time. It's time. And what may happen is that you may meet somebody because the Lovers is here. Or it could be a relationship coming back around because you spent the time on you. You did what was good for you. Sometimes and you are really being called to say, look, stop focusing on this. Just stop. Stop already. Two of Swords. Page of Cups. So there are new experiences coming in. Eight of Pentacles. You don't see it. Okay, you don't see it because you're working on yourself. and you're being way more discerning about, where you put your emotions with the Page of Cups. But there is, your heart is opening. Your heart is opening for new experiences, new conversations. It could be that this apology that you're waiting for does come in. Maybe it does. Maybe you don't care when it does because you're so busy enjoying life. And the universe is saying, Sag, go enjoy life. New moon in Aries. Go enjoy life, Sag. Go out, have a good time, find joy. Full moon in Libra. That is how you balance yourself. That is how, and like I said, whatever is supposed to balance out, whatever is supposed to work out, will work out. Will work out. We control a lot of things, right? We can say no to things for sure, but we don't control time. We don't control time and the flow in which things happen. So I love this for you. So speaking about the Leo full moon, I'm going to stay low during the Leo full moon because it can be dramatic. There could be dramatic conclusions to things, specifically in romantic things, because the fifth house is also the house of dating. It could be highly emotional. We're talking fire signs, right? And I think that for me, what always happens is I will stay off of, I still do YouTube, but stay off of social media for personal use because people tend to act a little cray-cray for me. And I'm not about that life. Hi, Marty. Hi, Coco. How are you guys? How you doing? How you feeling? I've been so tired again. Like, I just got over the shift I think happened with Pluto. I don't know. I guess it depends on where you get your information or what you believe in. I tend to follow Western astrology, but if you look at Vedic astrology, it hasn't actually happened. Well, it's close to 2 now. I just did some full moon messages, but you can rewatch that later. But I was going to do an energy check-in too. It's something I used to do on TikTok. Thank you. I curled it a little bit, but my hair these days, it doesn't really hold curl. I don't know. What had happened was I decided a little bit ago that I could cut my own hair. I watched a YouTube tutorial and I decided that I could cut my hair. And apparently I couldn't. It was bad. I hid it well because I had long hair. When you have long hair, that hides a lot of mistakes. But I bit the bullet and went and got my hair cut. And they had to cut it this short because of where I had cut my hair. So no more of that, I guess. But this is all part of this thing that I'm doing. I am adopting the moving as if. So for me, one time when I was journaling, because I created a vision board journal for myself, and so to see myself as a successful woman, I have to do things that successful women do. Okay, this has been a whole theme for me since January. Asking myself, what would a successful woman do? What would a wealthy woman do, right? First of all, she would take care of herself. And, I've moved more into clean eating because I do have stomach issues, and so now I'm eating this healthy gut thing, doing this whole thing, right? But one of the main things was a successful woman probably doesn't wear sweatpants every day. So I bought clothes and I started getting dressed every day. A successful woman does not cut her hair or her own hair. So, I did that, bought new makeup, started doing myself every day, as far as makeup and hair and everything. And got prescription glasses. Prescription glasses. Um, but my focus this year is taking care of myself, doing what's good for myself. And so I had some clearing to. Marty, it's so hard because I just want to stay in my pajamas all day. And if we're being real, I could do it because, this is my job, by the way. I don't work an outside job. I don't do anything else but this. But most of my videos are hands, and that was based on what was popular, what works, so people can see the cards. So I don't have to get dressed. No one even sees me. But there are certain things too you have to do when you work from home. So it's just the opposite compared to people who work outside the home. Like if you work outside the home, all you want to do is get home and be in your house. But for us, we have to leave. Yeah, we have to leave because it is really essential. I wrote, because I was a blogger in my past life, I wrote this whole thing about things that would be healthy for you to do if you were working from home. And I think when we're working from home, we actually wind up working more than other people. Like I know it's just that we can like schedule our time different, but there tends to be, especially if you're at all involved with social media, there tends to be a really hard time stopping or taking breaks. And you have to take a lunch break just like you would if you were at a normal job. You have to leave the house. That's the only way. Leave the house. Like, so I go for a walk every day because I have to leave the house. I have to, or I'll go insane. And so, yeah, I've been working from home in one form or another since 2015 because honestly, I don't like working with other people. I don't. It's so funny because like at different times collaboration has come up with other readers and stuff, and I've turned it down because I just don't like working with other people. But who knows, that may change because we've been seeing a lot in that, you know. I'm very introverted. I spend a lot of time, but I decided also this year that this was going to be the year of travel for me. I'm going to travel. I'm going to have to do it all before the summer though, because I don't know if y'all travel, but the cost of transportation, like air flights specifically, is so high. In the summer, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So how are things going toward your goal, Marty? Yeah. Well, I go out a little bit. I'm not a person who, I am like Sagittarius. I do want adventure. I do get bored easily. But I don't need to do it all the time. I also don't need people around me all the time. Like, I like having a friend or two, or I definitely like having an extroverted person in my life that will make me go out. So I do know a few people, so I think that maybe I go out like once a month, but, you know, other than that, I never get bored at home. Like, I can find 5 million things to do. I started taking a course. I bought all these books. I just don't get bored being at home. But we do need other people. We definitely do. So I am also focusing on making more connections. More connections. Love's been coming out a lot lately, Marty. I don't know what it all means. I'm kind of an anti-dater. I don't do that whole serial dating thing. I, you know, I have to really like someone to go out with. And I'm in no rush because I really believe that love comes to you when it is the right time. You know, I do believe you should put yourself out there, of course. And, focusing on connection isn't always about romantic love. It's just about, people do better who have good friendships in their life. So friendship is very important. Friendship is very important, Marty. I actually have a friend who's also single, and she calls me every morning. She's like my bae. Tells me how beautiful I am, and it's a beautiful thing. And that's what I mean, like staying in contact with people, it's not that hard. I mean, you could just talk to people on the phone if you want to. Oh, that's really good. Yeah. I'm guessing Facebook, huh? Because Facebook has a lot of groups for different things. Another thing, and I don't know if they have it in Ireland, um, but we have this app all across the US called Nextdoor. It's for connecting with people locally and stuff. Oh, that's cute. I love accents. I love accents. I have a type, Marty. I have a type. Let's see what your energy is. And that's what I'm saying. If you come by the live, you can get a card to see your energy. God knows I do so many readings for the collective. I love the nighttime reading, the tea. That's my favorite one. What's a lot younger, Marty? If you tell me, I'll tell you a secret. What is Marty's energy? What does Marty need to know? What does Marty need to know? You feel like you don't have time to have fun. What does Marty need to know? You're receiving something, Marty. A gift. And what is this celebration? Abundance is coming for you. Okay? This you should know. Let's see. Not yet, though. Abundance is coming for you, and life is going to get more fun for you, by the way. But not yet. Celebration, gifts, and abundance is here with completion reversed. You feeling shadow energy? You might want to do some shadow work. Like, you know, shadow work looks like what is holding me back. You know, this is where we become accountable with ourselves, right? You have not completed a cycle yet. Oh, and the universe is trying to send you a message. I mean, it's coming. It's like being on the edge. And Marty, I know I did too many cards here for you probably. I'll do you too, Melanie, by the way. And these are just oracle messages. I almost feel like Spirit doesn't want me to tell you. Messages in your dreams and distance is here with renewal. In terms of what you're trying to do and you feel like it's going really slow, it's because you have not completed a cycle yet. Now, the cycle may not be in your control, Marty. You know, it might not be in your control. So keep that in mind. In the meantime, definitely do your shadow work. Pay attention to your dreams. Maybe even keep a journal by your bed. You know, you can program yourself to remember things. It's hard, but you can. Because they're trying to tell you it's not time yet. It's there, Marty. It's there. And I definitely feel like this is about your move and you're wanting to move. Your cycle has not completed yet. It is what I'm feeling. And I don't take that to mean that you're doing something wrong. I don't feel like you're doing something wrong. I feel like you'll know, but it just really feels like the time isn't right yet. There's something that hasn't completed yet. You know, so don't sit there and rack your brain and say, I don't even know, what is this? I want this now. You know, in the meantime, cut yourself a break. Spend some time, get some rest. You know, just sometimes the cycles are our doing and sometimes they're not. This is definitely about transformation. That's what cycles are about, but, you know, just saying. So relax. I feel like it's also telling you to not stress yourself out. Shadow work is a good thing to do whenever you're feeling it. You know, there are those who say do it once a month, or maybe you don't need to do it. You know, but I do it when I'm feeling it. When I live intuitively. I live intuitively. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I've been thinking about teaching a course on it, but like when I'm having the feelings and it may be something that I haven't thought of in forever, and I'm like, why? I just take that as an opportunity, you know, to write out the feelings, blah, blah, blah. You know? We all have shadow. To be honest, we all need shadow. Like people think, like we are very light, and being positive will attract us, things to us. But oh, by the way, YouTube 602, I'm not just doing readings for people. Okay. So thanks for being demanding, but anyway, I can't even remember what I was saying. Are you still here, Melanie? This is just a turn of a card for energy check-in. It's not a full reading. It just happened to go there a little bit for Marty. So, Melanie. Melanie, let's see what energy is around Melanie. Yeah, me too. It kind of hurts my soul to see Sagittarians who are pessimistic, you know? Okay, Melanie. What energy is around Melanie? I'm going to tell you something in a minute, Melanie. What energy is around Melanie? A rebirth, Melanie. Oh, gosh, Melanie. I don't know. Maybe you know what this is about. Maybe you don't. Oh, my gosh. And all I see are sevens. Change is here with integration, which is about union. Okay? And it really could be about a union that you moved on from, Melanie. Why is this here? Interesting. It's like the moment you stop thinking about it. The moment you stop thinking about it, and I feel like Saturn wants you to stop thinking about it. Stop isolating yourself. This may not even be someone old. It could be someone new. It could be that you, like everyone else, is just going to put yourself out there. Because rebirth is Phoenix energy, Melanie. We are the Phoenix. Yeah, this could be career too. Because it definitely says that. Definitely something that you've been thinking about for a long time. But look, Melanie, you're being rewarded. Decisions and self-love and karma is here. Like, definitely don't think about what you have not received. It's like, I don't know if this has happened to you already, but the moment you stop overthinking about something, and start just embracing, coming out of the cocoon, if you will, it starts to happen. Because Saturn wanted you to stop. Yeah, it's like Saturn wanted you to stop this. Stop the overthinking. Stop holding yourself back from others. And you really picked the right decision. It's like you had a decision here. You had a way to go. And you picked yourself. Oh boy, I can't see the time. You picked yourself, Melanie. Maybe you've even been working on yourself, and it's, self-love is highlighted here. Oh my gosh, they're bringing you a masculine too. Something, I feel like you're being rewarded. Now, hi, being human. And I don't feel, Melanie, like it's just your love life. Like, I did see something there about union, but that can also be, integration is about, taking the bricks that have been thrown at us and making them work for us, turning our pain into power. And there's something here about you overthinking, but one day just deciding that you were going to focus on loving yourself. And the moment you do that, I'm getting a chill too. Everything changes. Now, let me say what I was thinking in the beginning. See, I can't ever just do one card. I wish I could. Is I became focused with this, Melanie. I think you should get one if you don't have one. This is a skeleton key, or, you can buy them on Amazon or anywhere. They're so cheap. And wear it around your neck, because there's a solution coming. And I'm telling you right now, it's like I feel like crying. Which is usually when I'm doing personal readings, I'll feel the emotions that other people feel. But I feel like it's going to feel like that for you, Melanie. Like you're going to want to cry. Woo! Whew. That's kind of heavy. Hi, Amethyst. Just doing a little energy check-in. I did do a full moon reading, and I'll repost all this so you can see it. But where's Coco? We'll do you. I'm only going to do a couple more, and then probably, I don't go live very often, but I'm committing myself to going live on Wednesdays, which will make really, it just felt really emotional. You know how you feel, Marty, when you feel like things are never going to happen, they're never going to pop off for you, and then they do. And then it's like, it's just very emotional. You're welcome, Melanie. Karma is shining on you, Melanie. I mean, I can't say when, energy is energy, but cocoa bean sickle. Thank you, Marty. I like it too. I like it too. I always feel like they're... Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm talking on just the right day. I talk a lot. That's one thing about me. And I was saying to a friend last night, I either talk nonstop or not at all. Okay, Coco was cocoa beansicle. That is so... That does that mean you're a coffee lover? Is that what that's about? Okay, cocoa beansicle. Amethyst, don't go anywhere. I had a really nice exchange the other day with Amethyst. Okay. I try to answer the comments on the videos. I don't answer low vibrational comments. Oh. Whatever. Okay. Let's moderate this bitch. I got no time for that. So Cocoa Beansicle, let's see what the energy is around you. Cocoa Beansicle. Cocoa Beansicle. Yeah, I like them too. Hmm. Mm. Oh my goodness. I feel like someone's interested in you, Coco. Hi, Sam. Heidi verse. Someone else gave me that idea. God, what's his name? Chris, I think. I would have named the whole thing Heidi verse if I'd have thought of it. So, Coco. My gosh, Coco. I feel like someone's interested in you, but they feel like they can't do anything about it. That's effed, right? I hate that energy. Tell me about the Ace of Wands. This person. Thanks, Marty. I also started using retinol. I'm getting old, y'all. I don't know, Coco. It feels like there's someone attached to your energy. Could be a fire sign. The Ace of Wands is usually a good sign. You know, this person, like, they move in a lot of self-doubt, though. You may hear from them all of a sudden when you're not expecting it. They struggle with self-worth, like confidence. Like this person, it might not happen in the wintertime either. It was supposed to happen in the winter. Look. Winter and offer is reversed. You may have a twin flame coming in. I don't know if you're even aware of it. You may actually feel their feelings. It's interesting that it's a fire sign, to be honest with you, because fire signs usually don't move in that energy. And it's kind of saying when it's the right time, it will come. But this person has self-work to do. You may not even, I don't owe you money. You may not even be aware of it. Why do I owe you money, Jolie Travels? But it does feel as if you have a twin flame coming in. Oh my gosh. I guess it's trolls. Trolls. Oh, trolls, trolls, trolls. By the way, that never happened. And that is like definitely one reason I don't do live. So Amethyst, are you here? It's funny, Coco, because I don't feel like you're aware of this person. Yeah, for real. Well, I hid them. That's what I do. Hi, London. Or what is your name? Kundalini Rising. Okay, Amethyst. You said you read tarot for yourself. I'm not actually doing tarot with this. I'm doing oracle cards, but I love to interact with people who are, I know, right? Kundalini Rising. I had my Kundalini activated by a Reiki person, a friend. I was afraid to do it too. I was afraid because they said how it can like make you feel like psychotic. Okay, so amethyst. Amethyst. It was okay. I mean, I cried a lot, but oh right. If you guys don't do Reiki or have it done like energy healing to you, I deeply suggest it. It is the best thing ever. Oh. I love spiritual people. Okay. It is. It is. So, amethyst. 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 What the heck? You know, I'm really drawn to the ankh. Okay. It almost feels a little bit you know something, amethyst. You know something and it's do you know it? It feels like you're blocking it. Look at this. It feels like you're blocking it. Probably because you don't want to see it. But when I was thinking about the ankh, I know what it's about, but I really was feeling like you need to ground yourself. And I feel like there are changes coming in for you, and you know it, but you're kind of blocking it. Oh, Canada. So here we have avoidance, higher self-activation, and third eye. It's like your intuition is trying to tell you something. So I don't know what you need to do. If you need to meditate, or maybe it's just you don't want change on some level. Maybe it's a subconscious thing, because most of that stuff happens in our subconscious, but you're being activated towards something higher, something that involves your third eye. And yeah, I mean, there can be fear involved for sure. Look at this. The dark night of the soul, amethyst. This is what's happening. I feel like this is what you're avoiding. You're avoiding the dark night of the soul, but let me tell you, you're not going to be able to. The dark night of the soul will come for you regardless. It will come for you. But what is happening is I feel like you're on the other side of this dark night of the soul for you is an increase in your abilities. So stop blocking your intuition. Stop it. I feel like I'm raking you over the coals a little bit. You need to let go, surrender. We all go through the dark night of the soul. And on the other side of the dark night of the soul is a lot of change in our life. And you know this already. You know it already. So stop it. Let it in. The dark night of the soul is hard. But there is a other side. It is all about who we are becoming, and we become a little bit too tied to who we were, but just know that you take it all with you. That's what integration is about. You take it with you. You're not losing yourself. You're not. You're gaining. We always use what went before. We don't transform and all of a sudden we're not that person anymore. There's no such thing as moving on, by the way. I don't know. There was this TED talk I saw that really drove that home for me. They're all parts of you. You take it with you. You marry it in your energy. I don't know how else to explain how that works, but we're always afraid of it, but you need to do it. Now, there's nothing you need to do to bring on the dark night of the soul other than surrender. Surrender to changes, surrender to. I remember when I first started reading tarot, okay? This thing happened. Oh, well, I'm getting the chill too. They want me to tell this story, so I'm going to. So what had happened was, and my first deck, by the way, was Miss Cleo's tarot, right? We know all the trouble Miss Cleo got into. But I had started out just doing it for my friends and stuff like that. And I did a reading because you learn by doing, right? And definitely that's how you learn tarot. That's why I'm always so apprehensive about teaching tarot. I did a reading and the death card came out. And, death can mean transformation too. And one of the Gemini cards came out. I don't know if it was the High Priestess. This was a long time ago. And then the next day, this person found out their son died. And I was just freaked out. I tried to get rid of the cards. Yeah, that was my first deck. Everyone starts off with the Rider-Smith or the Rider-Waite, whatever. And I actually don't use Rider-Waite decks now. I tend to mostly use modern decks. So, yeah, let it happen. Let it happen. Cry it out, Amethyst. Cry it out. And maybe you don't even know you're blocking it. And so meditation might really help you. Meditation might really help. Nice. Well, crying, dancing, something also. Lots of things open our higher self. I'm not doing readings for people. I know that that's probably confusing because it looks like I am, but no. London, do you want? Because I'm going to do one more. And I'm going to let it go. What is calisthenics, Sam? I'm surprised there are so many people here. Thank you, Vaughn. I love sleeping. I love naps. I took a mm-hmm. Yeah, but the 8 year is also about receiving. Like it's about reward. So doing the work. Maybe you need some shadow work too. It is a good thing. You know, and I feel like it may be coming up from your subconscious, and it does very much feel like a fear of change. So you know, maybe you might want to look at that, see what you feel, you know. Intuition is very trainable. Sometimes we don't even know we're doing it. But, our I feel that our mind controls our emotions. When I read that, I was like, geez, does that not mean my feelings are real? We have trouble with feminine energy. We do. And for the last 2 years, we have literally had to sit in it, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is very masculine. Like, and if you look at what it represents, the arrow only shoots forward, it doesn't shoot backwards. And so the fact that we've been forced to sit in our emotions and everything is kind of harsh, and really to deal with staying in the present, staying right here, right now. And yeah. For me, it was really strange. It had a lot to do with accepting who I was. Okay, because, I think I just tried to be normal for too long. We definitely do. And I've seen something that said that female relationships, friendships, thank you. I've learned a lot even from some other readers like Scorched Earth. She knows a lot about Sagittarius. You know what I feel, Sam? Honestly, a lot of the time even when I see astrologers and stuff talk about Sagittarius, I'm like, that is so wrong. Like, that's seriously not true. You know, certain things like how we're not committed, and I've had nothing but committed relationships in my life. Nothing but. I do get bored easily, like they say. But once I want something, nothing will stop me. And the loyalty that I will give to that thing is just crazy. This is a good example. I've stuck with this for at least 4 years. This like success I have, yeah, she is. She's a Leo, actually. The success that I have gained here, like, I, I was so ready to give up because I had already put 3 years into it and still only had, but I'm stubborn. I want something and I will not stop. Yes. And once we get bored, we're done, basically, because you can't tell us what to do. That's the other thing. Yeah, that is very true. And you know, I love Scorched Earth because she is really a shadow reader. Yeah. And it almost feels like therapy to me. And so, you know, definitely a lot of changes, even in my readings about Sagittarius. I've noticed big changes. I'm not sure that they've totally come to fruition. Specifically, the Three of Pentacles energy has just like shadowed us for the last few years. I appreciate that. Thank you. Like, we're supposed to collaborate more, work with others more, let other people help us. Um, I do it all the time. Wait a second, I gotta let the dog out. Okay. It is. That dog is like, I talk about the dog a lot in my videos too. She's like my heart for sure. No one loves you like a dog does. Oh yeah. It's funny about your birth chart, and I'm kind of obsessive about astrology, but I'm telling you what, I can see everything that has happened in my life in my chart. All of my relationships, shadow work was something I never did because I have that toxic positivity that Sagittarius has. I didn't want to do anything dark. Matter of fact, I remember like, and I even suggested to other people, and I mean, I think it's a healthy thing, which really helps you to not dwell on pain. But I remember when I was going through a difficult situation with a person and it hurt a lot. Like, I guess you could call it a breakup or a separation or whatever. I scheduled my crying time. I would not like allow myself to cry until 10 o'clock at night. And I would only cry for a certain period of time. I swear it. Because I really believe that you can, you know, you can't spend your whole day like like that. Yeah, well, toxic positivity, it would be people who don't allow themselves to feel bad feelings because we are, and I feel like it's really a term that's over exercised by negative people, right? People who want to be negative. You don't gain anything through negativity. You cannot manifest through negativity. The delusional aspect of Sagittarius is why we always win. We we believe that we will, and therefore we do. We don't know how it's going to happen, but we believe we will. And that's why I tend to, when I see some people being pessimistic, I tend to really go after them because it's not who we're supposed to be. It's really not. The people need, and the reason Sagittarius attracts so much attention is because of our energy. It's not about how we look. We actually have all 12 signs. There's not like even if you don't have it in your personal planets, or your house, you have it in your houses. So you have it as a cusp on a house. Yeah. I am, well, I'm a Sagittarius sun and moon. Those are my only Sagittarius placements, but they're very strong ones, right? And I also have a lot of Scorpio in my chart. And but it really, like, an overabundance, what really matters, hi Stephen, what really matters is where it is, for instance. So although Sagittarians are very intuitive, it's kind of like it isn't the reason that I do this. Sagittarius isn't, I am very Sagittarius, by the way. I'm not savage, not at all. I believe Sagittarius moons aren't, but because I have a Scorpio Mercury and I have Pisces lording over my 12th house, I believe that's why I do the work I do. You know, I sidereal, or sidereal, I'm sorry, I said it wrong. I kind of understand it and I kind of don't. I understand that it is what's happening, it is like the events. Um, and insider, and in that I am a Scorpio. And I do very much resonate with Scorpio energy as well. And basically it's because I have a very strong Scorpio placement. I am a Scorpio 8th houser, which was why I decided that I was a transformational coach. I believe in fairness. Oh, geez. A Scorpio stellium. I actually have a Virgo stellium in my 6th house. I'm supposed to give to other people. And what's interesting is something that an astrologer told me, and it really has to do with my Libra Venus. And that is the way that I attract is through groups of people or other people. It's not other people giving me money, but I'm supposed to serve in a community way. Like I am supposed to, that is, so what's interesting is when I started doing rituals, right? Specifically for different astro transits, like it could be different, but I would do it in a group kind of thing. So I don't just do manifesting work for myself. I will do it for others at the same time because that's how I manifest. But the whole trick to it is that I have to do it, I have to ask for myself first because it's in Libra. It's very interesting. I do also have a spiritual channel, but it's been kind of hard for me to keep up with that. I think we feel very deeply. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, we feel a lot of things, but we don't like to show them to other people. We want things to be happy all the time. That's true, but I think that we are very emotional and very sensitive. We overthink things like a lot. A lot. We can think ourselves into a box and never escape, but I think that sometimes we can go too far with the need for everything to be happy, you know? But I will tell you one thing. It isn't that we won't give the unhappiness life, but for us, it always has a time limit. Right? So for me, I don't want to be unhappy. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want any of that. I'll deal with what the issue is, but that's why I put time limits on it. Do you ever notice as a Sagittarian when someone pisses you off? How long do you stay pissed off? Not long. Matter of fact, you pretty much don't remember it. I am so grateful I am not a water sign. I can't even tell you, like the thought of having like a water moon just terrifies me because I have very, well, I know of one specific really close friend who has a Scorpio moon, which is difficult and problematic. But yeah, I feel you. I have a lot of emotions, which I'm highly emotional. Even my personality type is an INFJ. So everything I do is through feeling. And so, right, Sam, I don't stay mad long. I cannot. But that's tied into even bigger things for me. Like, because there's a lot of people in my family who have been clinically depressed. And I'm not going down that road. I'm not going out like that. And so I like being happy. As a matter of fact, I kind of can't stand not being happy. But even there's an in between. It's not like people think. It's not like this ecstatic, everything is wonderful happy. It's just kind of like it's like a peaceful middle ground. And we adapt, do we not? Sometimes I think we adapt too well. We can very much get into a sense of complacency because we adapt to every situation. I wonder sometimes, especially for mutable signs, because we're fluid, because we go with the flow, because we adapt, do we sometimes put ourselves in a place of, because we don't feel the need to fight for it? You know, you understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah, I don't, I don't really, I've been around negative people, but and I will listen to people, let them rant or whatever. And it's so funny you say that, Stephen, because when you were leaving comments about something I said in a reading, I actually after readings, I I do this thing, and I don't know if it's the actual ritual for closing the portal, but I release the energy so much so that sometimes I don't even remember the reading. Hmm. Your North Node's in Sagittarius, so you must have had a very painful past life. Is that your South Node is in Scorpio? Ooh, Scorpio South Node people. It's true. What a Scorpio South Node indicates is painful, may sometimes even abusive relationships in your past life. But considering you have a Sagittarius North Node, it would kind of say that you not be victimized, I would say. Mm, my Chiron's in Pisces, in 12th house with Saturn. Right. Sometimes we could worry a little, like, I don't know. I think that one of the things that is Sagittarius's detriment is our tendency toward extremes. And it's something I fight against all the time. Something I'm working on this year. Well, I always am working on that. Like, we have a hard time with moderation, which is so funny that moderation should be our tarot card, because Sagittarius tends to be one extreme or the other, and it's really, that's an energy that's hard for me to manage. Mm. I only have one. Well, Libra is my south node, and I have a Libra Venus. So I'm cursed. But not literally. Sagittarius also struggles with judgment. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? We tend to judge people. We do. Hi, Lily. I just said hi. I think, though, what we've been learning is that it isn't always good. I think that that's one thing Sagittarius, even though it's kind of a layered thing. Say, for instance, a relationship. Someone does something you don't like, which they could say the color green, and you're just not into that color that day. Yeah. Um, so you decide you're having nothing to do with that person. And that's it. They're blocked, they're deleted. And then you kind of turn around, and the next day you're okay with green. We have a tendency to cut people off, or cut things off, or just we're just done with it. Um and that is where the whole commitment thing comes in. We tend to move on a little too quickly, right? But at the same time, when it comes to people, we will hold on to them forever. We just won't let you know that we're holding on to you. We will make you think that we cut you off. But I know, for me personally, and that's the extreme too. Like, if someone says something that pisses you off, or they do something that pisses you off, you don't have to block them. Just don't deal with them that day, and give yourself a little time to figure out if it's still worth it. Serious stuff. Pulling out don't work. I have a second child, I can tell you that. Yeah, it is true. But I feel like we haven't been doing that. We cut people off. Like, I cut people off. And recently I've been doing it without warning. Basically because I'm really feeling that energy about values. Okay? It's not a personal judgment of other people, but if I want more to come to me in terms of the things that I value, then what is in my life and what is around me has to match that. And so sometimes that means some people or situations have to go. It doesn't make them bad. And I've been saying that in the readings. It doesn't make them bad. It's just different. Like, if you have different values than me, then we're probably not going to get on. Yeah. Mm. Well, Cancer has a lot of emotions, and Aquarius can. They Aquarius and Scorpio have a predilection towards depression. And it's funny because they're the loner signs too. Hmm. So this has been a lot of fun. Of course, I have to go live my life. I've been on here almost an hour and a half. So thanks, you guys.